The police blotter came out with an off-duty officer driving through a group of protesters. We've seen the video. Now, you guys witnessed this. Do you mind recounting what you saw that night of the 3rd going into the 4th?
Absolutely. Well, I do have a statement written down if I can just read off of
Perfect,
that, if that's
yeah.
okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so actually on July 2nd, around 11:30 p.m., our group of protesters was marching back to Broadway and Pine. Our group of protesters was marching back to Broadway and Pine, our meeting spot, when we noticed a blue Hyundai sedan was circling us. The driver, unidentifiable at the time, was yelling hate speech, just things like the N-word. And we communicated with our group so everyone would be watchful. Fortunately, we made it back to our meeting spot safely that night. Then on July 4th, around 12:40 a.m., this was during our July 3rd march, but we do sometimes end past midnight, the same vehicle with the same driver was spotted. Our group was in the intersection of Boren and Howell. The Hyundai drove past our vehicle and bike barricade and sped through our protesters up Boren. Fortunately, our people were able to move aside and avoid getting ran over. When the car reached the intersection of Boren and Olive Way, which was just the next intersection where we were at, they turned around to attempt to hit us again. This is when one of our support vehicles purposefully T-boned the Hyundai in order to stop that second attempt. At this point, we don't know if the driver is armed, so we urged our protesters to stay back and stay away from that, because we did recognize right away, this is the same car we saw last night. We knew that. We always take note of that. We always take footage of that. So we told them to stay away from that collision. A matter of seconds later, police cars began to show up. Approximately 30 police vehicles and 25 bike police approached the scene. The black female organizers, including myself, then decided to go speak with the officers so they know what really happened. Immediately, we were approached with hostility and treated as the criminals. We then explained to the officers what had happened. I personally was talking to one of the officers and telling them the story of what happened the night before and what happened that night. A couple moments later, we find out that the driver in the Hyundai sedan was off-duty officer Molly Clark. She identified herself and presented her badge. When the car collision occurred, Molly Clark used her police radio to call for help. She spoke as if it was an officer in distress who would be attacked by protesters. That is the only reason why the cops got there so quickly and so many of them came. Molly Clark was never handcuffed and she was released with no charges. Molly Clark hunted us, attempted to murder us, and then played victim. SPD and Mayor Durkin have yet to say a single thing regarding this crime.
It says that we're not seen as human. It says that in the eyes of the white man, in the eyes of the common non-black person, that we aren't seen as human, that someone can attempt to run us over and try to do it again, and we will be hit with hostility. We will be hit with bikes. We will be hit with baton. In the video I took, I'm asking the officers, why are their hands on their guns? Why are their batons out? Why are they ready to attack us when this person just tried to murder us? She knew that by calling SPD, there was a good likelihood that either one of us would be arrested or one of us would be killed.
Things like this happen. I just want to make it so clear. This is not the first time that a car has tried to run us over.
No.
It's not. It's not the first time. This thing happens to us all the time. We don't call SPD when this thing happens. And a beautiful example of why is exactly what happened that night when Molly Clark called SPD. I have never, ever seen so many cops at one place at one time. I have never in my
not
life.
As fast
and
as that was.
So fast. They got there so fast. And they didn't get there that fast for us. They got there that fast for her. And the fact that even after we told them what happened, even after we showed them the video footage, because maybe my mouth can lie, but a video can't. Even after that, this woman, this officer, was never handcuffed, was never placed in the back of a police car, was never charged, was let go free. And that's not okay. There's so many things wrong with that. And the fact that I haven't heard SPD say anything about this, I haven't heard Mayor Durkin say anything about it, or Governor Inslee. This should be something that's spoken about throughout the entire state, because this means that there is a police officer that is racist and murderous. towards black people.
And it is not up to black people to continue to be the only people doing the work. It is up to the community members. It is up to the white people. It is up to Seattle PD. It is up to the council members. It is up to King County. It is up to anybody who is around who looks and sees those clues of hatred and get them the heck out of there before anything happens.
When something like this happens, while you guys are demonstrating and moving your movement forward, does this add more fuel
Absolutely.
to keep going?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Go even harder.
Well, I would just like to say that we weren't ever going to stop in the first
No.
place.
Never.
There was no way. But definitely when things like this happen, this, it gives and it shows ourselves and protesters. It gives us a reminder, I would say, that this is the reason that we are
We're
out here
out
right
here.
now. Not saying it is necessary to have those reminders because we can sit here together and give stories about
Yeah.
police officers for hours.
All day.
And not even just police officers.
Yeah, not just police officers, but talking on that, I think that it's going to make us go harder. I think it's going to bring more people out knowing that this is still very much alive and it's happening to people that are fighting against it.
It is a reminder. This is why we're out here. This is why we're not done. This is why we need to keep going. Because there are more than one Molly Clarks out there. There's multiple. They're not just cops. They're also doctors. They're nurses. They're social workers. They are your bosses in these corporations.
Your
They're
friends and your
everywhere.
family.
Your friends and your family.
teachers.
They are everywhere. And we are here to expose them.
Not being taken seriously. And it's a reminder that in Seattle, Washington, and throughout our country, black lives do not matter here, and that is not okay. Because this is not just an officer thing. These are the communities that keep trying to protect them again and again, and it is time for it to be over. We are not just about protesting every day. We are not just about speaking on a bullhorn every day. We are about our action and our demands to make a better United States of America, a better Seattle, and truly create change that we want to see. It is time that our Seattle Police Department puts the millions and millions and thousands of dollars into the communities that are hurting. It is time that our students learn truth. It is time that black women don't keep dying in hospitals. It is time that our mayor truly protects, loves, and cares for us and the things they wanted to be elected for. These things have been time. It is time that our students aren't put in jail. Like, there should not be a child prison. These things keep contributing for people like Molly Clark to try to murder us and kill us again and again and again. So it is time to step up and be the change that we all preach about. We see signs saying Black Lives Matter here, but we don't actually see it because those same signs are in the gentrified homes kicking black bodies out into the streets. So it is time to take the signs out and put the change in because it has been time, and we will keep being here. We will keep fighting, and we will keep being louder until those actions and those demands are completely changed in the city of Seattle.
Should we chant them?
Do you want to chant them? I think we should chant them.
Let's
Lead
do
the
it.
chant.
All right,
Okay.
start it off.
Defund SPD, how much?
50% at least
Where should that money go?
to the communities.
3, who should you free?
All the protesters.
Don't forget number 4.
No new youth jail.
What do we want for number 5?
Jenny Durkin to resign.
And whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter.
And
Just
we're-
so you guys know, that's what we were fighting for when Molly Clark tried to run us over.
Thank you.
Thank you.